All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Prophet John here. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so Kanye West had his first campaign rally in South Carolina. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with the other states that he cannot participate in. I told you guys that most likely they knew this up front, and they probably put in some type of petition or some type of letter to say that to try to get them some type of bypass so that they could participate in those states. So I'm not sure what the update is on that. But the states that he can run in, okay, and it's not too late to run in, he's going to do his tour, his campaign tour there. So once again, like I told you guys before, those who are going to vote for Donald Trump have already made up their mind to vote for Donald Trump. You're not going to be able to move them, okay? The people that are going to change their minds are the ones that are voting for Joe Biden because of his age and because of his mental state status and or because he just has no plans on doing anything for some of the people that are voting for him, right? And so they don't see him being a viable candidate for the next 4 years. And so Kanye West is someone that they might want to switch to instead of voting for Donald Trump. They will say, well, let me just go with Kanye West, the loose cannon, because Donald Trump was a loose cannon as well, right? So but so this is what's going on, and maybe they idolize Kanye or they idolize Kim Kardashian and the Kardashian family. And they would love to see them in the White House and playing around and having fun, and Kylie would be in the White House chilling with her new makeup line and fashion and stuff. So they that's what they think about. So that they will, instead of voting for Biden, they will go for Kanye. So that, like I said before, the Trump supporters are sticking with Trump, and the Biden supporters are going to jump ship and go with Kanye West. Okay, many of them, in my opinion. Okay, but here's the problem with Kanye West. He's too emotional to be president. He breaks down, and he's not. You can't do this type of stuff as a president of the United States. You have to have composure. One thing Obama had was high composure. Obama could speak well, and he had high composure. Right? Yes, he did fake cry a couple of times. And we called him out on that, and so did many people. I think a lot of us know when you fake a cry and things, as you continue to drop bombs on innocent children in hospitals and people around the world. So you're over here fake crying, right? But yeah, so Kanye West criticizes Harriet Tubman and breaks down while talking about abortions at first campaign rally in South Carolina. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there, and this is Kanye West is putting himself in a real harm's way here because he just signed a deal with Gap, right? Which is another Zionist company. Company. All these companies are Zionists. Adidas, Gap, Nike, they're all run by Zionists. So, but he's with Adidas. They both made a lot of money with Adidas, and he's with Gap. And so Gap probably didn't think that Kanye West was going to be running for president when they made this, when they were talking about this deal, and then they couldn't really back out. Because now Kanye West is going to speak his mind, and a lot of people are not going to agree with him, even if he's telling the truth. Okay. Now, with Harriet Tubman criticism, Kanye West says that Harriet Tubman, basically, she really didn't free the slaves. She just freed them to go work for other white people. And so the crowd was like, "Ooh," that cut deep, Kanye. The crowd was like, "Ooh, I don't know," So they were kind of confused on that one, but the problem with history is that history has been told incorrectly. The problem with history is that we weren't back then. We weren't living back then. So somebody has created their own history, right? Somebody has built somebody up to be something that they might not have been, right? So we don't know the truth about Harriet Tubman. The only person that knows the truth about Harriet Tubman is Harriet Tubman, the people that were there, and God. right? So everybody else wasn't living back then. So all these books that are out with Harriet Tubman, all these movies that are out, they could be complete lies, right? Or no one knows that because we don't know what really happened back then. Did Harriet Tubman free the slaves and then they became free? And then they were like, well, we don't really know where to go now. So yeah, let's go see if we can get some employment at somewhere else, right? Or did Harriet Tubman free the slaves and they were actually free and then they built their own land and they built their own, stuff and housing and farm and things and they started their own crops and you know what I mean? Like who knows? No one knows, right? How could we know? We weren't living back there. Um, so so when Kanye West says, "Look, Harriet Tubman freed the slaves, but she freed them to go work for other white people, basically white slaves, right? Slaves owners, right? White slaves owners. You know, she freed them from one slave owner or other slave owner to go work for more nicer slave owners, I guess. I don't know. And people were like, "Whoa," you know what I mean? But who knows the truth? No one knows the truth back then except for the people that were there and God. All right, so we could all give our opinions on it. It's gonna cut deep because the reason why it cuts deep is because we've been programmed to think a certain way about Harriet Tubman. So anything else would cut deep. It'll be disrespectful in our hearts. Why? Because we've seen the images on TV and movies about and books about Harriet Tubman, okay, and how she was this and this and this and this and this. So anything other than that is going to cut deep to many people and be disrespectful. But were we living back then? No, we weren't. We don't really know the truth about any of this stuff, man. Okay, but it does cut deep right away because you've been programmed to think a certain way about Harriet Tubman and her freeing the slaves, right? So that's why. So when I first heard Kanye say that, it cut deep right away. Why? Because we were programmed that way. And then I stepped back and said, wait a minute. I don't know what Harriet Tubman did back then. You know, I wasn't living back then. I can't certify this. No one can certify what actually happened with those free slaves. The freed slaves maybe did go work for other slave masters. You know, like what else would they have done back then? I mean, unless they were able to create some type of land and ownership or and have some type of property, but they had no money. They had nothing. You know, so who knows? We don't know what the free slaves did. You know, and so, but it is disrespect, and it's kind of disrespectful. But it's only disrespectful to me and you because we were taught that Harriet Tubman did this and this and this and this. Okay, so keep that in mind, right? It's only disrespectful because you were programmed a certain way about Harriet Tubman. All right, so that's why I had to step back and say, okay, Kanye, that cut deep at first, but now I'm like, okay, now I'm thinking, well, how do I know it? How do I know what Harriet Tubman did back then? How do I know what the slaves that were free did back then, or where did they go work? Where do they live? What did they do when they were free? Right? Did they go work for nicer slave owners? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know what they did. Now Kanye's saying, that saying it like it was like he's 100% true. He doesn't know either, right? He's just guessing. He's guessing that that's exactly what they did, and it's a high possibility that that's exactly what they did. You know, I mean, they had nowhere else to go. I mean, they had no money. They had nothing. They had no clothes. You know what I mean? So maybe they did go find nicer white slave owners to work for. I don't know. None of us know, right? Also, he talked about abortion and he talked about his dad and his mom, and all of that, man. And he broke down crying. He talked about almost aborting his daughter, and things like that. So he was very, very emotional. And he's not fit to be a president. He's way too emotional to be a president, in my opinion. He's way emotional than Donald Trump. Donald Trump's an emotional guy at times as well, but in a different way though. Kanye West is a crying, it's like mental for him. It's like a mental crying thing. Donald Trump, on the other hand, is like he's emotional, like on trying to like stop things or get revenge or saying no to this or no to that. He's emotional that way, in like in a masculine way. But Kanye West is very emotional in a feminine way. Like he will cry and cry and cry, and it's all about his mindset is torn, and they didn't integrate me into Nike, and I wanted to work with Louis Vuitton and Ralph Lauren, and they didn't invite me to 2020 Paris fashion show. Like that, he's like the feminine emotional, and it's like the dudes out here like, man, like Kanye, chill out, like I want to work with Dolce Gabbana. Like it's that kind of like feminine, emotional, like, and so he broke down about his mom and his family and abortion and things like that. What I mean. So yeah, he's all over the place, and I think more of this is coming as he goes on his rally tours as an independent candidate for president. No one's taking him serious, but and right now people are just disgusted. They're laughing at him, or they're just disgusted at him at his comments about Harriet Tubman. And there's more things that he's gonna say. He's gonna literally say everything that's on his mind, right, on these rallies. He's gonna say things that are gonna piss a lot of people off. He's gonna say things that might open people's eyes. To some type of truth, maybe, because not everything is a lie, right? There's some truth to some things that he might say. Okay, but he is gonna piss a lot of people off on this rally because he's gonna say things that no one wants to know about, or no one cares to know about, or people don't want to open those wounds back up, right? And so it's gonna be interesting to see how he conducts himself moving forward after this complete meltdown here in South Carolina. But this is not surprising to anybody. So many people just take it as entertainment. So and me, people are happy. Actually, Trump people are happy because Kanye West is just going to basically take votes away from Joe Biden, and that's all Trump can. That's all Trump can act for. You see, Donald Trump didn't respond back to Kanye when the report came out and said that Kanye West has turned his back on Donald Trump and no longer endorses Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump didn't even say nothing because he knows that Kanye West is going to take massive amount of votes, millions of votes from Joe Biden, and so he doesn't even care. He knows his supporter base are not going anywhere. They're voting for Trump, and I did the poll on it, and that's exactly what happened. Everybody that was voting for Trump in the beginning, before Kanye ran, is still voting for Trump, and everybody that was voting for Joe Biden, half of them or more than half of them went to Kanye West. Okay, so just like I said, and just like I thought, and that's exactly why Donald Trump doesn't is really happy that Kanye West is out here and as an independent candidate to take millions of votes from Joe Biden. Peace out, God bless. See you guys later. Eyes open.